Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting one. We have Apex Pro, we have Apex, and we've got Apex DCB, all to test and put through their paces. Let's enjoy, let's get stuck in. Just a quick one again, same as last time. The more likes the videos get, the more people that YouTube show it to. So any like is hugely appreciated. Enjoy.
Let's have some fun. Enjoy the video. That's a good start.
So I have had quite a lot of people asking me about these beauties, when they're coming out, when I can fit them, when I can get them, because I want to get them in the bag. As soon as we open, we have all the demos now. So I'm going to test all three of them for you. I'm going to test them in a slightly different way than I have done in previous tests. So what I'm going to do, there's three heads, first of all. There's three heads. You've got the Apex Pro, which is the hollow body construction, 1025 forged. Nice, beautiful, very nice. You have the standard Apex, which fits pretty much in the middle of the three heads. It's got the classic look that's carried over. Apex has always had that kind of black insert on the back. What they've done with all three heads this time is they've put their flash face AI technology in. So these are designed with speed in mind. And irons in the past, they have been. Callaway have said irons will go further. Will it yield results? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you've hit them, let me know. Really interested to hear what people think about them and if you've compared them to previous Apexes. So the final one is the DCB. Now this is one they've never done before. This is a bigger version of the Apex, deep cavity back it's called. Still got the flash face and a little bit of a wider sole, more forgiving, higher MOI on an iron. So you're talking about ultimate stability and ultimate distance from the DCB with premium feel is the goal really in that. So I'm going to hit all three of them today. But what I'm going to do is something slightly different. I'm going to hit the Apex Pro and the Apex with the Project X LS low spin shaft and 125 gram extra stiff standard length. I'm going to hit it in the Apex Pro and the Apex. But what I'm going to do for the DCB, Callaway have supplied us with a full range of graphic shafts as well with this, and some very good graphic shafts. So what I'm going to do with the DCB, because it's not specifically designed for someone with my launch conditions and speed, it's designed for someone who wants a bit more distance. I'm going to hit it with the MMT 95 gram stiff shaft in it. And that's just to get a more honest reflection of what this iron can actually do, because if I stick the Project X in it, you're just going to see it go miles. It's not really what we want. We want it to be an iron. And we want it to be an iron test. I don't want to see how far these can go. I do, but I want to see how controlled you can make an iron with a graphic shaft. So I'm going to start off with Apex Pro, and this is the one I'm most excited to hit. And this is the one that's probably most in line with what I'm going to need or look for in an iron. So I'm going to go to the range, I'm going to do some specs, and then I'm going to hit some shots and talk you through some tech as we go. So Apex Pro, let's go. So you can see in the specs down there, we have a 33 degrees 7 iron, which in today's standards is I would say it's about average. It's weaker than most. It's weaker than most hollow body construction irons, but it is a pro version. We'll see a little bit stronger in Apex. But going in to hit some shots, it is a hollow body. It does come off quite fast, and hitting the shots, I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised, at how much feel it managed to retain. Normally in a hollow body, you just see the face, where you feel the face flex and it just launches up. This didn't launch ridiculously high, it launched like a pro iron, and I was really impressed by that. I was expecting to see higher flights, less spin than what I actually got, and we'll go over the numbers at the end, but this was really good. So now I'm going to hit Apex. Apex Pro felt superb. Apex should feel the same, and in previous years gone by, Apex has been hugely popular. Really popular, and I'm really intrigued to see what this can do. So we're going to hit Apex, we're going to hit Project X LZ LS 6.5. Let's go to the range. So now looking at specs of Apex, we're 30.5 in the loft of the 7 instead of 33. So what we should see is a little bit of a lower launch and a touch more ball speed. That's just from loft's just loft. Obviously, you've got the AI face in both of the 7 irons, and it'll be interesting to see how they compare against each other directly with the same shaft. Feel-wise and look-wise, it did to me look like there was a little bit less offset in this than previous years. I think that's because they've got DCB, which is probably going to have a little bit more offset. But this just looks a little bit cleaner at address than previous Apexes. More like the Apex Pro kind of hosel sitting down. Obviously this is a little bit bigger, but more like an Apex Pro and how it sits. Feel-wise, incredible, very good. AI, you don't even know it's in there. It's still a forged body and it feels incredible. So now I'm going to go into the Apex deep cavity back. Now this is the one that's not going to be apples for apples, because I've got the Mitsubishi Chemical MMT 95 stiff shaft. Graphite, I've got that in this head, and we're going to see how this performs as an individual entity. Let's have a look. Now specs wise, you can see it is another half a degree stronger than your Apex, your standard Apex. So this is 30 degrees this comes in at, and there's no 3 iron. This is for the guy that wants a bit more ball speed and wants a bit more forgiveness, but wants to retain that awesome feel and the forged head. So looking at the ball, yep, a little bit more offset, a little bit bigger at address, but it still feels very, very good. And I'm hitting it with a graphite shaft here. And I did sling a couple left, but I'm going to do that with something that's a little bit lighter and a little bit softer in the tip section than I need. And just the feedback I got from this when you hit it sweet was so good, and I was very surprised. Yes, it has a graphic shaft. I was still very surprised at how much this span going into the green. So that's us hit all 3 heads, and feel-wise, performance-wise, these are on, Callaway are onto a winner. Let's have a look at the numbers. Club head speed's been relatively similar, 93 give or take a few miles an hour in each of them. The ball speed's where you see a big jump. The DCB has an incredible ball speed, 136 off 93 miles an hour. That's fast. That's fast. The only reason that is going the same carry distance as the standard Apex is because of the shaft. You can see the spin there is 1200 revs more than the standard Apex. That's the graphite shaft doing its job, presenting a little bit more dynamic loft. Spin rate is very, very good. If I could control that, I would put those in my bag because they're much easier to swing. So that's why I put the graphite shaft in it. It was to show you that you can get a good performance out of a graphite shaft despite your club head speed, and what a graphite shaft will actually do. Because if I put a steel shaft in that DCB, you would have seen a really low, flat ball flight that went a country mile. I guarantee that probably would have gone about 230 yards. Insane, 230 yards for 7 iron. I really like Apex Pro. Good club head speed, consistent ball speed, consistent carry distance, good, really good spin rate, 5800, 5900. That's really where you want it to be. I mean, the balls I was using, that's really where you want it to be. It is normalized and land angle maybe a touch high, but I mean, they are very, very good. They are very, very good. And I think if you're willing to pay the price for the extra feel, for the performance that you're going to get with that feel, you're not going to find many sets that are better than these. If you get the right fitting with the right shaft, make sure everything is correct for you, these things are honestly superb. Conclusion here, Callaway have absolutely smashed it out the park. Out the park, it's gone. Driver lineup, iron lineup. I can't wait to see what they've got in terms of wedges. We all know how good their putters are, Odyssey. So Callaway has the chance here to dominate for a year and then build on that success. I personally think they've got the best low spin feeling driver. I think they've got one of the longest drivers, and I think they've got one of the most forgiving drivers. I think they've got I think they have the most forgiving forged iron. Bold statement, but I think they've got the most forgiving forged iron, and I think they've got one of the best looking players distance irons. Callaway have smashed it. Well done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, show us the video to more people, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe.